Hello, hello. Welcome to today's webinar. We are talking WordPress.com, and we are going to be actually talking about WooCommerce 101 today. Thank you for joining. We'll wait a couple minutes here as we all get signed in. But my name is Dustin Hartzler. I'm coming to you from Dayton, Ohio. I'm excited to be here with you today, and I will be moderating this this webinar. We're going to be recording this so you can watch later, but then I will also be kind of facilitating and answering questions as we go. Feel free to use the question and answer feature. We've got it so you can only see your questions. So if you don't see any questions there, it's okay. People are still asking questions. And if there's duplicates or whatnot, I will try to get those answered via text, or we can go ahead and give them to my colleague Richard here in a second, and he'll be able to answer them and show us on his screen. If we don't get to your question, there's just limited time today, so head on over to wordpress.com/contact, and you can contact a happiness engineer, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And then when you exit the webinar, your browser will redirect you to a page where you can complete a short survey. And so with that, let's go ahead and get started. I'm proud to introduce my colleague Richard, and he's going to walk us through setting up WooCommerce on WordPress.com. Richard, take it away.
Great, thanks, Dustin. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, should be able to see that now. And so I've got the back end of WordPress.com open here. To install WooCommerce at WordPress.com, you will need a business or e-commerce plan. With business, you can install it. With the e-commerce plan, it comes pre-installed. WooCommerce is a plugin for WordPress that will turn your site into a shop. So basically, it will allow you to have products, have a shopping cart. People can add those products to the cart and go through checkout and pay. So that full process of e-commerce. So I've got a couple sites here. I've got a few test sites. First, I'm going to show you how to install the plugin. So in this example, we're on the business plan. You'll come in here to My Sites, and we'll come down here to Plugins. And then we'll see the plugins that are available that you can install. Here's some featured ones. You can also search. WooCommerce should be right here at the top. I'm going to see that, and then I would click install there. I've actually got another site with it already installed. It should just take a few seconds normally to install, but just in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and flip over to that site where I've already installed it, but that's how you'll do that first step of installing. So let me go to the other demo site here. Now, after it's installed, if you click on plugins again, then you'll be taken to the WooCommerce settings. So I'm going to come here, My Site, Plugins, and now that I've already installed it, we'll be able to see, okay, now we're in the plugin interface, and here's WooCommerce. Now, let me also show you another way to get into the settings, and that's this WP admin link down here below. Today, I'm going to start there because we're going to go through a quick setup wizard that creates some core WooCommerce pages. So I'm going to click WP admin here. Okay, this is the WP admin interface, which is more common for managing some specific plugin settings. We can see WooCommerce here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on Settings. So WooCommerce Settings, this is where you're going to configure all of your core settings for WooCommerce. As I mentioned, I'm going to go through a quick setup wizard. So I'm going to click this Help here, okay? It's on the top right. If you can't see, the very top right, there's a Help. Then we can go to Setup Wizard. And there's also a new onboarding experience. You can try that out and enable it. That will also help you install some payment gateways and some marketing extensions. I'm not going to do that today in the interest of time, but that is another option too. So let me click on Setup Wizard. Okay. And this is where we can start to add our address. So I'm going to just do a fake address here, just for our test. This is going to be Main Street in the United States, and let's do in New York. And then I'm going to do New York City. And let's do continue. Okay, it's asking what industry. I'm just going to choose the first one, fashion here. What product types? I'm just going to have some physical products. There's also different product types, like for example, if you want subscriptions where it's billed on a recurring basis, you can have that as well. For now, we're just going to look at some physical products. Business details, I'm just going to fill these out. You would do it obviously relevant to your store. Okay. And then I'm going to, Storefront is a theme that's installed with WooCommerce, and that changes the appearance of your entire site. This theme is geared towards e-commerce, so I will choose that, but just keep in mind the theme does apply for the entire WordPress site. So I'm going to click choose there. WooCommerce Services is an additional plugin that allows you to do some automated sales taxes and printing USPS labels. I'm just going to go ahead and choose yes. Okay. Now we also have another setup wizard here that's, that'll guide us through adding products, customizing the store, setting up shipping, taxes, payments. I'm going to go through a little of that manually with you here too. So let me just go ahead and do add first product, and we're going to add manually. So what we're going to do is just create a simple product. Once we click that, we'll be able to add the title. So I'm just going to call this sunglasses. Here they are. And you'll add a quick description there. When you scroll down, this might be familiar. This is it looks like the, just the WordPress editor. This is kind of the old classic editor. Down here below, we can add the information. So the price is going to be 100. And if you want to fill out the shipping, like for example, if you're doing live rates with USPS and it's a calculated rate, meaning that we're going to be quoting from the store address to the customer's address, you'll want to fill out the weight and dimensions. So that is important to keep in mind if you're doing live rates. For now, I'm going to leave that blank. Let's go ahead and then, so we've got our price. Now let's add a product image. And then I'm just going to drag this over here from my desktop. And now we've got a nice product image, and now I'm going to publish that. Now on the front end of our site, I'm just going to click this link right here. That will take us to the front end. Now we can see we have some sunglasses. They're $100. We can add them to the cart. So that's just a quick way to create a simple product. Simple product meaning there's no options for the customer to choose. Let me show you now how we're going to create a variable product. So before we went through the wizard, also too, you can just go here on the left, products, add new. And then this product, I'm going to call this a t-shirt. And then the product data here, this is a variable product. So a simple product, again, no options. Variable product, that might be size, that might be color, that might be weight, that might be anything that you want to have that's the variation that the customer can choose from on the front end. So I'm going to do a variable product. The first step to doing that, to creating that product, is adding attributes. So let me go down here to attributes here. We've got a new custom attribute. I'm going to click add. In this example, I'm going to do color. And then we need to enter our values here. I want to separate them with a line. And so I'm going to do green. And then I'm going to do red. And so basically what we're saying is the variation is color. We're going to allow the customer to select green and red. I'm going to click use for variations. That will allow them to select it. If you didn't click use for variations, it would show up on the product screen or on the product page as an attribute, but wouldn't allow them to select it. So I'm going to use for variations, save attribute. And then I'll come here on the left-hand side, click variations. And then what we're going to want to do is create variations from all attributes. So basically that's just saying the two that I created, let's create those variations. So there's two steps: create the attributes, then create the variations. Okay, it says two variations were added. Perfect. We've got green, we've got red. Now each variation has its own settings. So keep in mind that we need to add a price for each variation. Let's say our green shirt is going to be $10. Okay, and then I'm going to upload an image here. Let me upload the green image. And I'm just dragging that over from my desktop. Set the variation image, and then, okay, we've got the price, so that's important. Now let's go to red. Let's say red's a little more expensive. That's going to be 15. Upload an image, same steps. Set variation image, now save changes. So again, price is the main thing we need to have. So we've got our t-shirt, let's publish that. And then we'll click this link here, this permalink, just to open the front end of the website to see how it looks. Okay, now we've got our t-shirt and we've got an options. We've got green and we've got red. So when I choose green, boom, now I see the green image. I choose red, I see the red image. If you also want to have just a main default product placeholder image, you can add that product image on the left-hand side over here and add a product gallery. You know, it might be good to have just like a blank default, and then when the customer selects, they will see that specific variation image. Okay, so that's a simple product and a variable product. Now what I'm going to do is flip over to the back end. I'm going to go through the settings a little bit with you because that's some of the most important things that you need to configure on your shop. So what we've already done from the wizard is we've added the store base address. So that's very important, especially if you're using automated taxes or you're using shipping live rates. It needs to know where it's coming from in order to do those automated calculations. So go through these general settings. You know, you can fill out your currency. There's a lot of settings through here. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to shipping since that's another important thing for every store. What we need to do is create shipping zones and then add methods to each zone. So what I'll do here, I'm going to add a shipping zone. And remember, my shop address is in New York City. And so this zone is going to be called local. And for my local zone, what I want to do is I want to limit that to just the same specific zip code of my store address because I want to give those customers a local pickup option. So basically, if you're in the same you know, zip code as us, you can just come by our shop and pick it up. So if they match this zip code, they will see our local pickup. All right, now I'm going to click this back here, back to the shipping zones. And I'm going to create one for New York State now. And so if everybody in New York State, I'm just going to call this New York State. This can be called whatever you want, but keep in mind that a single customer will only match one zone. And when they do, they see all methods in that zone. So in this example, New York State, let's select our regions, New York. Okay, and let's add our shipping method. That's going to be a flat rate, and I want to charge $15. So everybody in New York State will see a flat rate of $15. Again, if you want to do like calculated rates with USPS, that's an additional extension. That's from WooCommerce.com. You can also do UPS, FedEx. We have a lot of different calculated rate shipping extensions. But for now, for this example, let's just do a flat rate. Okay, and then finally, let's just do one more, and we're just going to call that US. And this is going to be for all of the United States, just in our specific example here. And then let's do a flat rate, but that's going to be a little bit more expensive. Let's say we'll do $25. Okay. So now what we've got is we've got 3 different shipping zones. Again, a single customer can only match one zone. So let's say, and it matches in order. So let's say, for example, and if you can see my mouse on the left-hand side, these are drag and drop. Let's say my US zone was on top here. That's matches United States, which is the same as where New York and the specific zip code is. But since it's the top one, customers will only see, they would match that first zone and only see this first flat rate method. So these need to be in order from the most specific to the least specific. So meaning that if I left it in this order, everybody in the US would only see flat rate. So again, I'm going to drag that back down and put it in the correct order here. And then finally, we have locations not covered by your other zones. This is a great way to just not offer shipping methods to anywhere outside of where you want to. So you can just leave that blank if you want them. Like, for example, if they put in, you know, Canada in this example, they wouldn't see any shipping methods because we haven't defined that zone. Okay, there's some additional shipping options here. You know, if you want to show like the calculator on the cart page, you can. I would just go through these settings and refer to the docs. So if we go to docs.woocommerce.com, there's a lot of great helpful information right here on the front page. If you click shipping, and then like, for example, shipping classes, that will tell you all of the, you know, the specific settings with screenshots of the back end of these options. So again, in the interest of time, we just don't have time to go through all these today, but note that the doc site is very complete and has a lot of great information from setting up products to shipping to payments, etc. Okay, now let's look at payments real quick. So these are some core payment options that are included with WooCommerce. If you want to add additional ones, like for example, you want to take credit cards, Stripe is a popular extension for that, where the credit card fields are directly on the website, meaning that they don't have to go to PayPal or another gateway to fill in the details. They can just do that directly on the site. This PayPal gateway is an off-site gateway, which means that when they choose that, they then go to paypal.com to finish the payment and then are redirected back to the site once that's complete. So for a quick example, I'm just going to turn on check payments, meaning we're going to take checks. Someone can then just place an order. What we'll have to do, though, is verify that the check came in, and we'll have to change that payment status manually on the order. With like an automated gateway like Stripe, for example, once that's paid, the order will go straight to processing. Processing is a paid status, which means it's then on the business owner to then ship the product. Once you ship it, then you mark that as completed. But in this example, check payments is a manual gateway, so there is an extra action to do. And again, there's more tabs. So again, I would just encourage you to go through these tabs one by one because there are a lot of settings in here. Accounts and privacy. So if you want to require everyone to have an account, or if you want to just, allow guest checkout and not require anyone to have an account at all, you can do that. There's also emails here, which will show you the core emails that are sent. So for example, the new order email, that's sent to the shop owner. The processing order email, once that's paid, that's sent to the customer. So it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with these emails so that you know what's expected to be sent when. For example, a pending payment email, so one where they've placed the order but haven't completed payment, there's no email for that. So if there's an order with that status, there's not necessarily an email sent. So you might want to review these emails just to make sure you know what's going to be sent when. If you hover over this little question mark icon, you can see those details. So that will tell you exactly when those are sent. If you want to add additional emails, you can. So say, for example, you've got, the shop owner, and then you also have someone that does fulfillment, that's maybe in a back warehouse that you want to have their email address copied on it too. You can just add that there. If you go under manage, then you can separate it by a comma and add an additional email. Okay, since we're getting close to, we're about 15 minutes now, and I do want to leave some time for Q&A at the end. I am going to do just a quick, let's just look at our product on the front end, make sure things work. But yeah, today we've covered some basic settings. We've covered adding a simple product, a variable product. We covered shipping, creating the zones and putting the methods in each zone. Again, a single customer can only match one zone. And when they match it, they only see those methods. We covered payments just briefly, and then now we're going through email. So anyway, let's jump back to our products. I'm going to go to products. I'm going to click view here. I'm going to hold down command, click view to open a new tab. And so I've got my t-shirt here. Let's choose a color. Let's do green. Add to cart. Okay, let's view our cart. And when we went through the setup wizard, that created all of these pages. So the shop page got created, the cart page, the checkout page. So it's important to go through that setup wizard. I'm going to proceed to checkout here. And now it's saying, okay, enter your shipping address to view those options. All right, let's do United States. So when we do that, okay, we see a flat rate of 15 because New York State is selected. So I'm just going to flip over to the back end real quick. WooCommerce, settings, shipping. And this is just a good way to match up to make sure, okay, if we had New York State, then we should see the flat rate, and that should be 15, right? So boom, there it is. Now, if I choose another state, like let's choose New Jersey, then now I'm no longer matching that zone. I'm just going to toggle this setting just to refresh the calculator. I'm no longer matching the New York zone anymore. I'm matching the US zone. Now we see a flat rate of 25. Okay, and then finally, if we do, let's go back to New York. Let's do our specific zip code. Now we should see the local pickup. Again, toggling the setting just to refresh the calculator. Oh, wait, sorry. Put the zip in the wrong field. Zip goes down here. Town, city, New York City. There we go. Now we should just see local pickup. And yep, so now we confirm that everything's working as expected. So that's a good way to kind of compare the front and back end. Let's choose check payment since that's the only method I enabled. Place order. Let me fill out these fields. We need billing fields. This is especially important for payment gateways. For check payments, it's not as relevant, but they still are required fields. So let's make sure we fill those all out. Place order. Okay, now the customer goes to the order receive page. They see the, the information, and they say make your check payable to us for this amount. And so once that check, again, since this is a manual gateway, we need to manually verify it. I'm gonna go here to WooCommerce orders. We should see our one order on hold. Let's see, these are just some sample ones. Let me click on the one that I did, the WooCommerce one. Okay, I'm gonna click on that. Now I see the order, it's on hold. Once I receive that check in the mail and say, yep, this is paid for, I come in here, I change this status to processing, and then I click update, and then now I know that the next action is still on the store owner to ship it. So I can create that shipping label with UPS if I wanted, since I connected WooCommerce services through the setup wizard. But yeah, again, if you use Stripe or another automated gateway, it will go to processing automatically, which is a paid status. So yep, I'm about at 20 minutes here. And I do want to leave a little time for Q&A. I believe Dustin's been answering some, but yep, let's go ahead and answer some of these questions if we can, Dustin.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a question that came in and you kind of skipped over that section, but how about taxes? How to enable taxes if you have a state that has a few different tax rates, or just explain a little bit about taxes.
Sure. Let's go to WooCommerce settings. There will be a tax tab at the top here, but you have to, on the general setting first, you have to enable it. So there is an enable taxes setting. So that is another good reason just to go through each one of these settings one by one. So enable taxes on the general setting. I'm going to save that. Now we've got a new tax tab at the top. If you've installed WooCommerce services, then you can do some automated taxes. That setting will be at the very top, enable automated taxes. So we'll basically do the calculations for you based upon your shop address and where the customer is to determine if taxes need to be charged. You can also set up tax rates manually. So if we want to have like a standard rate, for example, we say, hey, our accountant told us that we need to charge this rate in this state. You can come in here to your standard rates, and then you can just add rows of taxes. So you can add the state code, the zip code, and then just add in that rate manually. So if you know you have a specific situation with specific products and your accountant gave you some information, then that's what you would want to do. We always recommend speaking with your accountant. We're not like tax experts. We can help you with the configuration and setup of your taxes, but we don't advise you of should you be collecting or should you not be collecting. That's where the accountant would come in.
Awesome, perfect. And how about coupons? Can you set criteria on the coupons, or how do you enable coupon settings inside of WooCommerce?
Great, sure. Yeah, WooCommerce coupons. That's another feature of Core. They're built into WooCommerce Core. You can create a coupon, and you would give it the code at the very top, or you could just generate an automated one. And there's different types. So like a fixed cart discount, meaning it's just going to be $10 no matter what. Or you can make it a percentage discount or apply to a specific product. You can set an expiration date. There's also usage restrictions. So if you want to make it so they at least have to spend, $10 or $50, for example, then you can set those criteria. If you want to allow only certain email addresses. So say, for example, you had a specific promotion, sign up for our email list, you get a free coupon. Then you can also still restrict it to only those emails being able to use it. And then there's usage limits. So you say, we only want, this coupon to be used 10 times. First 10 customers that use it can use it, but anybody after that, you can't. So you can set those usage limits. So yeah, this is something built into WooCommerce Core. You can also have it apply to free shipping too, if you want. That's another setting that you can configure. So if you want it to allow free shipping, then you can check that box. Now keep in mind that in your shipping settings, you also need to add the free shipping method and then require the coupon. So let me just show you that real quick. If I go to WooCommerce settings, and then I go to shipping, and then let's say we're going to add free shipping to our local zone, add shipping method, free shipping. And then I can say free shipping requires a valid free shipping coupon. So if you want to give a coupon that gives free shipping, you can check that box on the coupon, but you also have to add the method to your zone, or else they won't see that method.
Perfect, thanks, Richard. Question here about themes. If I already have a WordPress theme, can you add WooCommerce and not lose the layout and have to change the look and feel of your site?
Sure. Each site can only have one theme active, so there's not a way to activate another theme just for like the WooCommerce section, but you can still keep your current theme active, and WooCommerce has some code in it that will, it's designed to work with any theme basically. So you shouldn't see any like bad effects from it, but you might want to add additional customization if you want the products to display a specific way. But yes, it's out of the box, it should work. If you just install WooCommerce and use your current theme, you should be able to keep the same styles. Again, if you want to add some like additional stuff to the product pages, that would be a customization. But you don't have to use like Storefront or a WooCommerce theme. You can stick with your current theme if you'd like.
Yeah, perfect. How about going back to the variation products when you were creating that t-shirt product? When using different colors of the t-shirt, I've seen on other sites when the shirt is pictured in a certain color, and then there are other colors shown in a small square underneath. Click on that color and that picture of the t-shirt changes to that color. How do we do that?
Okay, sure. I think what you're describing here is like a gallery within the variable product. So if we come in here to variations, and then so each variation can only have one image, but you can add a product gallery. And if you add the gallery images, that will show, and I'm just going to add these two as an example. I'm going to hold down control so I can select multiple, add the gallery, and then I'm going to click update. And I believe this is what you're asking. Is that correct, Dustin?
Yes.
Okay. Let me set a main product image. So I've got a main product image, and then I've got a product gallery. The gallery is going to be those other little icons underneath. Let me refresh. Now I can see, okay, here's my main product image, and then here's those additional gallery ones. Now when I choose my option 2, then that should show the respective image. So you can set up the image on the variation. You can also set them in the product gallery so that they can be seen before someone chooses the variation.
Yeah, perfect.
So also too, let me just show you real quick. Again, docs.woocommerce.com, set up products, and then variable product. And there's a very detailed guide here about all those steps that I just did. And there should be, let me see, there should be a part about images here. Yep, so this is telling about how to add images, what the customers see. So this is a very detailed guide to, even when you have multiple variations. So I've got color and size. In my example, I just did color, but here's what you'll see if you did both. So I would go through that as well.
Awesome. Can we have customers automatically set up accounts on our site when they check out?
Sure. That's a setting in the accounts and privacy settings. So I'm flipping back over. I'm going to clean up a few of these tabs. I've got a few open now, but if I go to WooCommerce settings, accounts and privacy, now there's a guest checkout. So, depending on if you still want to allow guest checkout or not, you can uncheck that box. But account creation. So here's the first option: allow customers to create an account during checkout. We check that. Now they can create that account. And if you want them to be able to choose a password and username, you can uncheck these buttons because by default, we will automatically create a username and automatically create a password. If you want them to have those additional fields on checkout so that they can create their own, then you can do that as well. So yeah, go through the accounts and privacy settings.
Gotcha. Perfect. And how about seeing like reports of like what has been sold on my site? Is there any way that that's built in?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of great new reports in this analytics section. So if we go down to analytics, there's tons of reports that we can dig into. So we've got, you can, customize by time period at the top here. If we go into our orders, so analytics orders, and then we want to see, again, on this test site, I don't have a lot of orders yet. But there's also advanced filters. So at the top, we'll choose our date range, then we'll choose advanced filters and say, I only want to see, a report on my t-shirt product. And so we can say, okay, includes t-shirt. So again, at the top, there's your date range. And then at the very top, there's more advanced filters. And then we can filter that data and now only see, stuff that has the t-shirt products in it in this one too. But that will allow us to see that. There's also, if you want to report on the products, you want to report on, coupon usage, there's tons of stuff in here. So it's good to drill down. You can also export this data. So let me go to orders here. You see this download button on the right-hand side. So say, for example, you need to send it by a CSV file to your accountant. You can do that. You can download it and email it over or get it to them another way.
All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap things up. We're at 12:30 here on the East Coast. It's something
Perfect.
30 wherever you're located and wherever you might be tuning in from. And feel free to take that survey when you close out the webinar, and visit wordpress.com/webinars for more upcoming webinars. I know that Richard and I will be doing another one next week. And so if there's something a little bit more specific, I see a question came in about setting up a shop page, product categories, things like that. Maybe we can focus on that next week and talk a little bit more about, how to customize that homepage and whatnot. Since I don't think that's been covered in any of these webinars, we've been talking about the main focus and setting up products and whatnot in WooCommerce. So we'll do that. Thanks so much for Richard, for your time today and spending time answering our questions and showing us off WooCommerce. And I guess have a great day, everybody. And we'll have more webinars at the same time tomorrow. Every day, every week, we're doing webinars and we're bringing the information to you during this time. And so with that, we're going to sign off, and we'll be around next week for questions. And we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.